Hey there, it's Anna. And one of my favorite things to do is answer your questions because you guys always have such great questions. So, today in this episode, I wanted to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of something that I do every single week, which is answer member questions inside of our class membership community. So, I'm super excited to give you behind the scenes sneak peek at what it's like inside and a really great question from one of our class members and how I answer it. So let's get started. Welcome to the Classy Career Girl podcast. I'm your host, Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, one of Forbes' most influential career sites. This is a podcast for a community of women who want to turn their passions into work they love. You'll learn how to become happy, successful, and balanced with class, skill, and style. We believe that you can create your future. So stop delaying your great life. Go put yourself out there. You can have your great life and career right now. Our next question was from Oki, and she asked a really good question. So her question was, I have a job in finance that takes up all of my time and energy where I don't feel like I'm gaining much, which, okay, I used to have a job in finance and I could describe myself the exact same way. Took up all my time and energy when I didn't feel like I was gaining much. So I totally understand where you're at. She has a skill of writing in media that she would like to work at for a while in order to make a living off, and a long term interest of data science that she believes would be the most beneficial. It's hard balancing all of them, and I honestly haven't made headway with any. How can I proceed? So, first of all, Oki, first of all, I do think that there is clarity here, even though it might not feel like you've made any headway. You actually, when I was reading this, I felt like you had a lot of clarity here because you do know right now that the job that you're in right now is not your long-term vision. It's not your long-term goal. And you know that you need a career change. And to me, just that alone, that's making headway. That's like knowing your direction and knowing what you need to do. So give yourself, some credit for knowing that and writing this down, and for submitting this question, because that's moving forward yourself. So you know that your current job is not the dream career for you, but you know that you also have these skills and these more of these things that are exciting to you. Like you would love, if you could, you would love to create a career around writing and media or data science. And so to me, it is hard to balance it all. That's why one of the first things we do in CRP is we have that time management and productivity class. So to me, first, it sounds like two issues. It sounds like a vision issue, and it sounds like the time management issue. So I would first make sure that you've gone through this section of the membership site, the time management and productivity class in phase one, module one of CRP, because we have to, it is hard to balance a full-time job and trying to pursue your dream on the side. And so that's why early on in the phases, both in CRP and Love Your Career Formula, I do recommend the time management module. And also, Oki, if you're still confused about, actually, I was going to say you could go through Love Your Career Formula, but you do sound like you have quite a lot of clarity. So I'm not going to tell you that you have to go through Love Your Career Formula, but it could be beneficial to you if you're trying to do CRP and it hasn't been working. Then I would try Love Your Career Formula instead. But this section of CRP is going to help you learn about blocking out your time, and that's really important because blocking out, even if it's just 15 minutes per day for one of the lessons in class or 1 hour on the weekend to get through a module, that's what's going to help you get more excited and motivated as you start making those baby steps towards your dream. So blocking that out, and you'll learn how to do that in that module. Being grateful for your current job, that your day job, even though it's sucking the life out of you, all your time and energy, it's also what's going to help you pay those bills while you can build that dream career on the side as well. There was a point where I had to stop putting everything into my business or into my day job. There definitely was a point for me where I had to kind of distance myself from my day job to my dream, where I stopped doing, you guys know me, I stopped giving like 150% to my day job. and decrease that down to maybe like 90% to my day job. So I stopped trying to get the promotion. I stopped being perfect at my day job because I knew that wasn't the long-term plan for me and that wasn't my long-term vision. It was going to help me get to where I wanted to go, but I think that's also an important decision that you have to make where you start to build out your vision. And so when you leave work, you become a writer. You create your own media basically. If that's have skills you're not exploring and those are the things you really enjoy doing, leaving work at work and then you becoming that media, building that media of writing when you leave work and blocking out that time on your calendar each week to do writing and to work on your media dream, build out your social media. You can do that on your own. You can start to build out your resume, build out your profile. Just like we were talking about Magali, she's being contacted by HR assistants and recruiters because of her LinkedIn profile, because of that's her media, right? That's her, she's created that herself. And now people are contacting her. So, and the same thing happened to me too. You want to get into writing, start a blog, right? Blogs pull up in Google. That's how I got in People's Style Watch and Wall Street Journal and Forbes just by writing the blog. And then people Google and find my website and reach out to me. And that's how I got featured in some of those big media places as well. So, but it starts with blocking out the time and creating your own dream, creating your own vision, and scheduling that time for you to be a writer or you to work on learning more about data science. And what I would do is I would also create a vision board or a vision journal. I know I used to have a vision journal I would carry with me to work so I could look at it like on my lunch break. Cause you know me, I worked through lunch break. I just worked. And so having that like near my desk, like in my bag, so I could look and I could remind myself, okay, so this isn't my long term vision. Like there is another place that I'm going in the future. So I would create a vision board or a vision journal of what your life would look like as a writer in media, as a data science like scientist. Like let yourself dream of what that looks like. You can use our vision journal from our planner. So I attached that to the outline today. Doing these questions and letting yourself, like, this is part of like letting yourself get excited about the future and where you're going, even though you're feeling stuck where you are. We have to leave that day job, and then when we drive home, like for me, I had a long commute. I had like a 45-minute commute. So the second I left my office, I flipped on my podcasts and I started listening to entrepreneurship podcasts and I started learning about things. And then I would get home and I would blog when I got home and on the weekends. And then I would go back to work. And when I was at work, that was my job. So thinking about like, what do you want to create in the future? When you imagine completing your goal, what does your life look like? So when you are a writer, when you're in media, when you're doing data science, like in 5 to 10 years, what does your life look like when you have that goal, when you have that career? What words and phrases represent your life when you've achieved your goal? And then why do you want to reach this goal? So maybe there's a way even that you can combine data science, with writing and media as well, and you start to blog about data science and you blog about the impact that you want to make and why you want to get into this as well. So there may be a way that you can put those all together. And I would also do informational interviews with people who are in careers that you want to have someday as well. So I would, reach out to writers, reach out to people who are doing fun things in the media or data scientists and, ask to interview them, do informational interviews. Or if you're creating a blog, you could interview them like on Zoom, record it, do a podcast, put it on YouTube. That's one of the things that I was doing in the beginning too. If you look on YouTube, you can see some like of my early interviews with people where I didn't even like consider myself like a career coach at that time, but I was interviewing other career coaches and learning from them. And you'll learn a lot just from doing that. And then you start to build up your media from interviewing other people too. Post content strategist. Thanks to Gary Vee for coming up with a name for my dream job. Ooh, yeah, you'd be good at that actually. Post content strategist. Librarians are information scientists, and many special libraries have data scientists too, Meredith. Interesting. Yeah, a library. So interviewing librarians. Ashley says, what helped me was changing jobs so I could do a job that fired me up. And now I'm working on my side business. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you don't know what it could turn into as well. Like if you just start exploring that on the side. Good tips. You guys are always have such good tips. Okay. So, Oki, hopefully that helped. Hey there, it's Anna Runyon, and I would like to invite you to my upcoming free masterclass called How to Plan, Design, and Launch Your Dream Career or Business Without Wasting Time or Money. I'm going to go over 3 simple strategies to go from feeling stuck at work to waking up excited every single Monday. So you can save your seat at www.classycareergirl.com/masterclass.